Go, go. Oh, okay. I was just about to be like, God damn it, what? So why not just sign now? Ugh. Boop. Whoa, Vito! Jesus Christ. Hey. Vito. Shush. 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 There's no reason to be boofing. What is your deal? No. 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 Finish. Nothing going on outside. Jesus Christ. Oh, I fucking like bonk one thing. And they go off. God love it. Bruh. I'm gonna bonk you with a beer. Booga booga. Booga booga. Booga booga. Now I got a little bit more space there. Cool. Actually kind of surprised. Wow, the YouTube's algorithm's being kind of nice. It's already 2 people, and it's like, what, barely like, 2 fucking minutes starting on this? That's nice. That's over, sorry, when I get back. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. We got that fucking whiskey in the fridge. Nah, that actually got drank. All of it's drunk, bro. It's all gone, man. Me and Harley, that's kind of what happened. We just, when he got off work, we just slammed it all together while you were asleep. 50 XP. Yeah. That's why I was drowsy, bro. Honestly, between me and Harley, we would probably unironically just die of alcohol poisoning, or at least be puking our guts out and bleeding internally and suffering immensely. That would actually be very horrible. 75 XP. Oh, is it telling you that weird XP bullshit? Luckily, Streamlabs doesn't give me that crap. Whenever I'm doing, like the shorts version of my live streams, it will, because it's just directly for YouTube, but since it's on Streamlabs, I don't get that shit. Which is kind of annoying. I don't know what it's there for. It doesn't do me any good. Or really for anyone. I think there should be a way to change it in like some settings or something. Or from like from different chats, like live chats I've been in, where they've where some people have asked how to get rid of it, and some people have been able to figure it out. So. King Kong of the Bong. Yeah. So, since we're going on to React mode, in a little bit, not, quite yet, let the ball roll a little. We'll kind of get into some stuff. I got some different things on the roster. Won't probably get to everything, but I figured if we got to at least, like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 of the different things, I call good. So, I'm just thinking, I know one of them is going to be about this, like, weird bathroom perv freak that I saw from Moist Critical the other day, and I was just like, okay, this is a little, like, this is extreme. Like, I gotta at least check this out. And then there was, like, one other thing about this, crazy Christian nationalist freak, basically be like, yeah, women need to just submit. Like, just some extra weird shit. And then there's, like, a couple other things, too. The other MAGA bitch locking horns. Oh, yeah. I was kind of thinking about it, reacting to that. And honestly, as it stands, normally I don't pick a side, but on this one, I kind of have. I'm kind of on Marjorie Taylor Greene's side. And honestly, you want to know why? Because she's literally like one of the few Republicans, if really the only one, that is like very vocally anti-Israel. In a sense of like actually specifically calling out the genocide and shit going on in Gaza and Palestine too. Like, I'm sitting here like, okay, you're a crazy lunatic bitch, but you're right. I'm just like, hey, when you're right, you're right. I mean, so it's just like, I mean, I can't really exactly be like too fucking, you know, like, fuck her, you know, if they're like locking heads and scratching at each other. I kind of hope Marjorie comes out on top. Though, she's been kind of known as a pariah within the party now. So I feel like, unfortunately, her time is limited. Which, in a weird way, I kind of like the fact that she is kind of a bit of a pariah. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of, you know, like that there is, like, a wing of the base that is just kind of masked off with someone like her. Where she ain't afraid to, like, you know, get the claws out. You know, so I'm just thinking in my mind, I'm like, huh, you know, someone who's rabble-rousing the party a little bit, you know, and just also really broadly being kind of a nuisance, but still somewhat popular within the base. I mean, I can't really be too, like, critical of that, you know? Never, you know, correct the enemy when they're making a mistake, right? Even a broken clock strikes twice a day. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you know? Like, given the very, 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 very few things I can even remotely think, okay, or at least decent on, it's like, I think that's kind of worth her being in there just to kind of, like, you know, fuck with them, you know, with the Republicans. So, making chocolate peanut butter bread. That sounds fucking awesome. Question, what do you have to scratch for a fascist to bleed? Libs. Liberals. Of course. Into Israel, moderate. Turn grateful. Wait, what? We need to submit, but the men also need to submit to the dad of Trump. No vote for anyone. Yeah, exactly. You gotta let daddy take care of everything. I love how, honestly, so many of these MAGA heads don't realize how ironically fucking just straight up faggoty they sound when it comes to, like, their whole daddy Trump shit. Like, like, you know, I could say it, fuck you. Like, and straight up, they are so faggoty. Like, just straight up, bro. Like, honestly, I've met some flaming queers in my life. And none of them compare to these motherfuckers. Then it pisses me the fuck off also, hey, Logan. Yeah, they are too. They are for me too. Especially how out of touch they are with pretty much everything. With a lot of shit. Like, I don't know if you've seen Pete Buttigieg's fucking, like, take about, like, you know, Israel and shit and everything, but just being an utterly, totally fucking vapid, out of touch, loser bitch. Just proving that he's a rat like he always has been. So, I mean, to me, I'm just like, you know, even for a supposed progressive like corporate dem, even they don't get it. It's like they're not going to. They're just controlled opposition at this point. Because even the differences that they do have, they don't seem like they want to have enough of a spine or a fuck to give to actually fight for those things. And the very few things that they do actually want to fight for is usually just means-tested bullshit no one gives a fuck about. It's like, we gotta means-test some stuff. How about fuck means testing and just, you know, I don't know, get on with some fucking legislation or some bills and push some shit. Fuck this means testing, we'll, like, test it out a little bit, like, put our foot in the water, see if it works. Because also 90% of the time when you means test shit, it doesn't usually work because you, I don't know, need to just go fucking all in when it comes to a lot of these things that really need to be addressed. It's absurd. I think I know why libs are more insufferable with Republicans, the same old white power bullshit we've heard a million times. But libs, they always have underserved smugness. Oh, yeah. Oh, totally, dude. And it drives me up the fucking walls. I mean, it's because, it's kind of, it goes back to that song, Love Me, I'm a Liberal. Like, they'll go, wear the pins, they'll be at the marches, at the rallies, maybe they'll be at the union meetings or whatever the fuck. But if things get a little too radical and the protest ends up somehow coming into a riot, whether they started it or not, they're nowhere to be found. In fact, they're probably helping the cops pick out some people that they think did shit. Like, oh, you think, or is there somebody that they think is suspicious walking around their neighborhood? Guess who they're calling? The non-emergency line to make sure that a cop's watching them. Shit like that. And it's like, don't seem too progressive to me now, do ya? Or left, or even really arguably lib. Gave super lip takes. To be fair, they are Americans, so I can give a little bit leeway still. First one's basically like the left side doesn't have Nazis. Yeah, they do. I mean, it's literally just the premise of if you're willing to, like, tolerate a dialogue with your opponent and that opponent happens to be a Nazi and you're tolerating their bullshit. I mean, if it, like, like, the liberals in the Weimar Republic, weren't overtly fucking Nazis, but, hey, they kind of weren't really too crazy about stopping them. You know what I mean? The IDF. But really, arguably, they're just straight up fascist Nazis, just straight up. Like, I mean, yeah, I guess libs support them and shit. But, honestly, yeah. Like, really, who the fuck am I thinking? Yeah. There is no real reason to elaborate on that one. I mean, another one, too, would be, like, ICE. Maybe not right now, but even then, like, you had fucking candidates and politicians, including ones now in the fucking Congress and shit, like Janelle Bynum, who are very much in favor of the whole idea of stronger border and ICE, advancing and shit. And, yeah, they might, virtue signal about, like, yeah, the way Trump doing it bad, but still support it. It's like, yeah, fuck off. It's like, at that point, you might as well just be supporting it and just wave the fucking MAGA hat on your head. Fucking wannabe trash-ass libs. It's like, give me a fucking break, dude. Another thing that makes it more sufferable, too, is the fact that they have, like, this earned, deserved respect that is just not deserved, nor should really be given to them. At least just on this virtue of, like, I feel holier than thou. It's like, bitch, no you're not. And at least at minimal, the same level as me, and how you act with me dictates on whether you're above or lower. And with the attitudes like that, ain't off to a good start. Give the whole bullshit about the left always loses because no candidate is ever good enough for their Puritanness. Or they need to stop having such high standards. I mean, even if I am willing to grant that criticism, there's literally other fucking problems with our electoral process that goes beyond that, arguably. And for me, I would argue those are way more of a problems, than left purity testing. Because realistically, like, yeah, there is some segments of the left that are like this, but the ones that are, like, hyper prudish and shit, about, like, gatekeeping, like, what candidate to support or not, are kind of a very small minority of, like, the broader left/progressives of the country. And even then, we're not a big segment of the country anyway. So, I think there's a lot more other issues to address besides that shit, before that really starts becoming up on the priority list. You know what I mean? Like, that's just stupid. That's ridiculous. This despite multiple leftists voting for Kamala really against Trump. Yeah. Also, this despite them not appealing to the left at all last cycle. Nor are they doing it at all right now. Nor have they done it, in the cycle before last. Or the one before then. And probably the one before that, too. U2 jersey. That's like 3 songs ago. I think he's a little behind. This man out of the left that could be ignored, and we told don't matter yet blame for every Democrat loss. I know, right? It's like the weird idea of like the enemy is equally weak and strong at the same time. It's like, take your fucking pick. You can't have it at both ways. I mean, which is arguably, funny enough, a fascist tactic. That's a tactic fascists use. So, liberals just have a far more sophisticated way of using that tactic, at least when it comes to the left. Because they always want to try to flank the left on bullshit, and the few times they try to outflank the left, you know, on shit, they usually flop and don't know how to do that because they're so fucking out of touch with their bullshit. So, I mean, like, they try to, like, act like, you know, somehow we're just stymieing everything when it's just their own hubris and their bullshit. And they're far more willing to cooperate with the status quo, which, especially as it stands now, is pretty fascist. So it's like, you know, at this rate, what does that make them? Homoerotic Trump daddy fetish? Oh my god. That's just basically a predominant swath of those MAGA chuds. You know, which, speaking of, you know, I feel like, you know, we could actually, you know, let that roll into maybe a little something. Since, you know, the ball, I think, is starting to roll a little. Never ceases to amaze me that we'll see people online who do and should have higher standards for men, but when it comes to the presidency, you'll need a submarine to locate where their bar is dropped. I think you would literally have to go into, like, the Marianas Trench, into the deepest part of it, and then get, like, a drill to, like, you know, those little oil drill things? Use one of those to just dig deep, miles deep from there, and try to break through the crust and go into, like, the, you know, upper mantle, you know what I mean? You gotta, like, you know, I think you have to literally, like, break through the crust of the earth itself in order to figure that one out. Microplastics, cholesterol, and essence of Satan semen. Hey, don't bring Satan into this. Even he doesn't like Trump, okay? Satan's a cool guy. He's misunderstood. If anything, I'd say that it's just like some other weird abomination, like fucking... I don't even know. I don't even think our puny human ape brains could even comprehend such a thing. That's why we just have to, you know, always, like, you know, revert to some, you know, bullshit like, oh, Satan, the demons, blah, blah, blah. It's like, nah, bro. Our puny ape brains can't even comprehend such things. Just want to ask one of these people, would you hang out with someone who did all the same things Barack Obama did, but they had no political popularity? No. Kamala would probably arguably be the only one I would even remotely consider, because she isn't like a full-on rapist or a predator, but she is a cop and kind of a piece of shit, and I honestly would argue that she is probably a very verbally and emotionally abusive bitch. There's something about her that strikes me as like she comes home, like the dad that comes home from work and just starts berating and yelling and nagging at the kids, and at this case, the husband, about, like, you know, why they suck and all this other shit. But instead of beating them, she just nags at them endlessly. While also saying how holy and high and mighty she is. While also being a horrible shitbag. So, honestly, arguably, like, I mean, that would suck. But, you know, it's just one of those things where just like, hey, at least, yeah, like, the fuck thing is, there's a lot of relationships like that out there, so what's really kind of sad about it is that it's actually realistic. Unfortunately. By the way, I'm not saying she would exclude physical abuse either. She would certainly be capable and probably would do that. But, you know, like, she would have to really be mad about some shit or whatever. Like, I just straight up didn't, like, do dishes or something. Or, you know, some shit like that. You know, even if I did do everything, you know, being like, yes, dear, and did everything, she would still find things to nag about. But if I didn't do something, she'd be like, you dumb fuck! You know, she'd, like, start smacking me around. She does strike me as somebody like that. I'm just giving my blunt assessment about this. Around, you'd be fine. Would you be fine around someone who raised a woman, or would you be fine around someone who broke up families? And yeah, I would. Yeah, neither, honestly. I mean, at the end of the day, it would be neither of them. But I guess if I had a gun in my head, it would be like the more Kamala-style personality. Because at least, I mean, if you're a weird, like, suckle simp, you know, chances are she'll at least treat you like a little pet and, you know, let you hang around at parties and whatever the fuck. I don't know. I mean, it's Elizabeth Warren is, as of right now, I'm willing to vote. I mean, I honestly do have my problems with her, but she would be someone I would be okay with considering. But it wouldn't be like, you know, very strong, like, yeah. It would be more like, alright, she won the, you know, the primaries, cool. You know, alright. She's certainly better than even most corporate Democrats, despite some of her weird, like, put my foot in both, like, sides of the coin kind of shit. I mean, she is the godmother of the whole, like, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And arguably, if she was president, she would just, you know, obviously reinstate and enforce and expand that, you know, agency and or that bureau. So, I mean, and obviously then some. And she used to be a teacher and is obviously a major supporter and advocate for teachers in the education system. So, I mean, you know, she's definitely got some shit that I would more likely than not support her, just because I would trust her policies on addressing these issues. But I still do kind of grow weird. I do have a weariness about certain things about her, though. But it's one of those things where I could overlook if she actually does commit to certain things that obviously need a priority and actually is able to enforce that shit. And also not suckle down to the fucking DNC like she did last time, stabbing Bernie in the back. Because I might, you know, be able to forgive, but I sure shit ain't forgetting that. I still remember her being a snake. So, that's kind of the reason why I got reservations about her. Because she was a snake at one point, and I ain't, you know, forgetting that shit. Especially trying to say that Bernie and, like, his supporters are fucking sexist and all this other shit. Like, you know, after, you know, that last debate and everything. It's like, that was, you know, some fucked shit. People like Biden have charisma, try and paint. They have anti-charisma like Andy Dick. Now, I feel like Andy Dick, even in his foibles, has this weird charisma, at least being funny at his own expense. You know what I mean? Like, he has that weird charisma of just being the clown that everyone fucks on at his own expense because he is just so self-destructive. You just have to do it from a distance. You can't really be directly involved with him, you know what I mean? Hence the, you know, I guess the anti-charisma part, but he still has, like, a weird, like, ennui, I don't know, man. He has, like, a weird ennui around him, you know, where it's, like, there is, in a sense, of his self-destructive behavior. You just don't want to be in that path, you know what I mean? Don't be in his path, then you'll be okay. I mean, we are, but we don't have proof. I mean, sex is in a sense of being like an actual bigoted bitch, then yeah. I mean, you know, I don't think we are, dog. In a sense that, yeah, we make some jokes and we call certain candidates or certain people like Kamala Harris, you know, or Hillary Clinton weird demon bitch cunts. It's not the fact they're women, it's the fact that they're just evil bitch cunts. Ted Cruz and J.D. Vance are also evil bitch cunts. But like, a lot of people I'm talking about, they have this kind of presence this, where as soon as you try to engage you in conversation, you go, I remember I have an appointment when you actually don't have one. Yeah, where it's just like really hard to actually have a conversation with them. I mean, you know, like I mean, I'm kind of a social awkward weirdo, like, so sometimes, you know, it could just be me not knowing what to really, like, say in certain situations, but there are some times where I'm like, this guy's more awkward than me, oh my god, and I just suddenly gain confidence, and I'm, like, I kind of, you know, become the authority of the conversation. We're like, oh yeah, cool. Anyway, but yeah, I'm just like, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm just like chilling over here, you know, blah, 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 so. What are you about? Remember, man, I just like totally like, you know, just change it, you know, because it's like, oh no. This actually happened a few times, and one time where I actually, like, unlocked, like, some, like, oh my god moment of, like, I'm actually I. You know what I mean? Was actually, funny enough, at the FurryCon in Portland. I was just kind of sitting down charging my phone at one of the outlets in, like, the main lobby area of the hotel. And, like, in front of this little, literally, like, a little table like this with a bunch of random shit on it. And I left, like, a little, like, 1876, like, little QR sticker thing, because I had, like, a bunch of those with me at the time, so I stuck those around. Well, didn't stick them, I just left them on tables and shit. And then, like, this one guy sat down next to me, and just started talking randomly about, like, I think it was Health Boss, because I was actually wearing this fucking hat, and I had that fucking pin on. And he noticed this pin. I was, like, wearing it like this. I actually remember that, now that I think about it. And he just legit just started, like, going off about, like, what's your favorite character and stuff. And I'm sitting here, like, honestly, if I've only casually watched the show, I don't really, you know, I don't know much about it. I just like the character because I think she's kind of cute or whatever. I don't know. You know, and he just kept going on. I was like, I just realized, like, this is, you know, he is, like, anti-charisma, like, awkward, like, what the oh god. So I just went, like, well, that's cool. But anyway, so, you know, I'm just kind of, like, looking this up, but think about this. You know, I was looking up some, like, random art, you know, or some shit, you know, from, like, an artist I was following. It's like, what do you think of this artist? You know, their art's kind of cool looking and blah, blah, blah. And just, I just kind of went off that. And eventually it's like, yeah, anyway, but I gotta head out, you know, because there's, like, a panel I want to go check. Because at this point, I was like, I kind of don't want to stay here now. And I was like, but hey, you know, I've been leaving these around, but it's QR code if you want to check out some cool Portland punk or something. But coach you around or something. And I just dipped. I was like, I didn't even really give him too much of a chance to say anything else. I was like, I need to, like, just get the fuck out. I was like, oh, hell no. Logan saw it. Nah, Logan said he'd deal with it when he got back. Haven't seen this. I don't know. I'll have to get my shit up here. I've been meaning to do that anyway, so here. Might have a quick mini buffer, but we'll see. Let's give it a sec. There we go. Oakley dokley. Oakley dokley. Here, might as well at least have that. Just gonna ready to go now. Ready to go now. Have I seen this? Now, what is this? I can't really tell, and I don't think I have. Yep. Okay, cool. The fuck is this? Is that a Bigfoot? Is that a bird? What is this? Oh, I think I've seen these guys before. Oh, I think I've seen it before. Damn.
I think we lost it.
Jesus.
Wait.
Damn, bro. Gorilla always wins. Gorilla does indeed always win, man. What the fuck is Vito doing over there? He's like, oh, I don't even know, whatever.
I made these cereal and milk candy bars.
I knew as soon as he said some porn, this was what it was going to be. Okay, there we go. God damn it. Stream crash on me again. This phone was overheated. That's exactly what happened. So I got an idea. I brought an ice pack. We're going to use this on top, on the back, like so. And up, shit. Can we keep it together? That's all I'm asking for now. Here, let me, ooh, yeah, here we go. I think this should... Okay, there we go. I went dark on it. Alright, well, it should be fine now. Turn down the stream. Probably not necessarily a bad idea, I guess. Let me see what the, thing is on that, yeah. It's already at 720. It's not really like, you know... I don't know. I think it should be okay now. Just see the last video all the way through. No, not quite. I'm just gonna at least here feel my phone real quick. Yeah, it's doing better. Actually, here, let me do this. I really mostly need that just to support that stuff. I think I have it just a little. There we go. I think that should work. Decide to pop this off and just put ice pack on it. But hey, I think it should work, right? And it seems like it actually is. So as long as I just keep it like that, we should be Gucci. I literally don't know why, but Streamlabs is the only app that makes my phone actually, like, legit, like, warm. Here, let me just do another feel. Yeah, oops, sorry. There we go. Yeah, it's fine now. But, that, at least for me, is kind of like, huh? I'm honestly, like, I know Streamlabs is kind of like an app that does kind of chew up a little bit, you know, some juice, just because, like, obviously it's, like, streaming through another, you know, like, I mean, I kind of get that part of it, but it's, like, not even, you know, like, some of the more higher-end, like, mobile games, like, COD Mobile or whatever the fuck, you know, made my phone overheat, you know, so it's just like, huh? I could wait until whatever you had to plan to react to. Yeah, yeah, just kind of, yeah, okay, we're good. I just, you know, figure I kind of keep feeling just in case, but I don't think we should have that problem again. It's just more about, you know, just having the phone charged later. See the cloud comment I showed on Discord? Yeah, I checked. Unfortunately, it seems legit. No, I don't think so, actually. I probably could here in a little bit, but just, you know, not right now. Well, I don't know. I probably couldn't. You know, yeah, fuck it on. Oh, that. Oh my God. Yeah, that is actually very sad. Jesus Christ. Got a mark under my eye? Well, I did notice if they're a little bit, but no. I don't think there is. I could use this maybe to shine a light on me. See? Oh, wait. Oh, the fucking thing's over there. God damn it. Well, I don't know. Huh? Maybe it's just a shadow. I just got these gaunt, shadowy eyes. But here. I like how YouTube also decided to take a poop. Be like, nah. Just been like a fag a little. Alright. Right, now we're in the focus, and history. There we go. Cool. Kill. Q. Now, what to delve into first? What shall we delve into now? I think we should actually warm up something nice. Just something nice and cozy for, interrupted the porn segment. You want to look back at that? Okay, at least I have the video I want to look at set up, so. Okay, dokie. You're right. Just make sure that it's all good. Share screen. Or switch screen. Make sure we're alright. Yep. Ah! There we go.
I made these cereal and milk
Shut up.
candy bars before the brands could, using Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Let me show you how I made them. It tastes like cereal milk. Honestly, so refreshing. So the plan is to get the crunch from the cereal and the flavor. Honestly, so refreshing. So the plan is to get the crunch from the cereal.
I accidentally clicked the button on the power button, which is also on the bottom of this shit. I moved it just slightly, and I accidentally pressed the button, and I just went, fuck. Because I was trying to, turn it out just a smidge. But that was it, and it did that. Don't worry, we're still here, but that was an oops.
And the flavor of the milk.
But anyway, Cinnamon Toast Crunch cookie bars. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even, I do care about the love and the creation that goes into this, but on one hand, I'm like, don't give a fuck, I want to eat that. Because it's just so phenomenally amazing, and I already know it's going to be good, so just, in order to shut my pie hole, just shove it in my mouth and make me eat it. Gotta shove it in my mouth. Oh, Johnson. Shove it in my mouth, Johnson. You gotta get all that great food, don't you? Shove it in my mouth. Goofy little girl. She just plops immediately. Why do we want to be over here? You always hide off over there, just me and a goober.
And I'll achieve that by adding little tiny pieces of Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal into the actual chocolate. For aesthetic purposes, I'll be swirling in some tempered cinnamon chocolate to get that marbled look, and it acts as another layer of cinnamon flavor. Then I'm carefully filling up the molds with this tempered marbled chocolate so that we can get a nice marbling once we unmold these candy bars. I'm taking a page out of my good friend Craft Witch and using his method to get as much of this Cinnamon Toast Crunch flavor into the ganache. After soaking the cereal in heavy cream, I strain it out and add that hot cream into the white chocolate to make the ganache. Then I add that soggy cereal into the ganache and blend it to get more of that Cinnamon Toast Crunch flavor. Next, we're straining it out so that we're left with a silky, smooth filling for our candy bars. I filled the cavities with caramel and a healthy amount of that Cinnamon Toast Crunch ganache. Finally, I'm capping these off with more tempered chocolate and then swiping off all the excess chocolate. I'm so happy with the way these turned out. They look just as good as they taste. Don't forget to follow Christian Paul Cole on Instagram and Christian Paul Chocolatier on TikTok.
Oh my god. Holy shit, that looks so good. Just like this amazing content. And you could tell by the look at this guy that that we got a gem on our hands. Just to let you know. And by the way, I mean, there's something about this guy that just has like a look of like, I mean, just with no context at all. He literally looks like a dude who would probably kill you over the fact that you stole like a bowl of oatmeal from him or something. You know what I mean? He does have a weird look about him. I'm not even gonna lie. But that's just like me being nice, arguably. Like with how this guy is, oh boy, you're gonna be in for a treat. In fact, I'll turn up just a smidge, few notches, just so we can really make sure we're here. And if you have a little comfort thing, like I have Jazzy over here, then acquire one, because you might need one. What's up, Jazzy? She's like... This looks like waiting for you to drop the soap. He is. If anything, he's actually going to be the one that is going to have the soap dropped on him a lot. And in fact, if anything, he probably would know. He's have a record.
It's rare that I can't yap up a wacky intro, but learning about this menace has left me stunned. I just saw this video from AWU body cams about this guy that would hide cameras in like every bathroom on the planet, it seems like. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got hidden cameras in my own porcelain throne territory there. Like he's infiltrated my domain and is filming me.
I'm calling because we just received an anonymous tip that someone has a camera in our employee bathroom and is uploading videos online.
You still haven't read my charges. Which are charges? You're not supposed to be judgmental to anybody's crimes, by the way.
What the hell is even that? You're not supposed to be judgmental of crimes?
So what did he ever do? Add a camera at least in a bathroom, but that's just the start. That's a rabbit hole, bro. I'm not even lying. This wouldn't be a long video if it wasn't.
I don't remember hearing...
By the way, like, the degree that this guy goes to with this shit is actually, like, fucking unironically kind of insane.
That and the Miranda rights. I can't even really imagine that. Like, you show up to a murder scene, you catch the suspect, and you just happen to say, like, hey, buddy, look, I don't mean to be judgmental here, but you strike me as a bit of a jerk for this, you know, taking a lot of human lives here. I know, sue me, I don't mean to judge. I feel like as far as judgment goes, crimes are a pretty solid one for people to form an opinion on, rightfully so. If you are found guilty of secretly recording thousands of people using the restroom, you're a fucking freak, and people will judge you as such.
On July 19th, 2022, the police in Ann Arbor, Michigan responded to the Briarwood shopping mall after receiving this unusual call about video footage from a store bathroom being uploaded online. Horrifically, the resulting investigation into a tech-savvy peeping Tom would spread throughout the city.
I got a feeling the horror video I'm going to be sure will end up being a palate cleanser before that kitten video. Probably. I'll admit, you know what's kind of like a little bit of a hot take, honestly? I can understand some very insane, egregious crimes that people might commit, including even like certain serial killers if you like kind of look through like their upbringing too, even. But when it comes to motherfuckers like this, I really don't get it. Like, this peeping Tom, like, to the degree, especially with a guy like this, to where you're like recording in bathrooms and shit, like, I mean, I will admit, like, that's one of the few things that I'm just like, what the, like, huh? I'm just, I don't really generally get it at all, dude. At least with other shit, I can kind of understand, maybe, if we get enough details about the guy who perpetrated the shit, right? Doesn't justify or make it right or nothing, obviously, but I'm just saying, it's like, at least, like, oh, there's, like, some fucked up shit, you know, wiring or whatever, this and that, you know, obviously, you know, if that person did it just, you know, because of that trauma, there might be others that we could probably catch, you know, because of that trauma and prevent shit like that, you know what I mean? But with this shit, it's like, what compels thee? You know what I mean? Like, what compels you, bro? Like, come on.
Ann Arbor, the final number of cameras and victims is enough to make...
It's like, Pornhub not enough? It's like, it's like, because, I mean, obviously there is, like, some sexual thrill to this, like, for sure. So I'm just like, it's like some of these heavy-ass websites, you know, with, like, you know, some extreme shit, like, is that just seriously not enough? Like, what is it? I just don't get it.
Your skin crawl.
It's not exaggerating either. It actually did, by the end of this investigation, have my fucking jaw on the floor with how many cameras and how many videos and how all over the place it was. There wasn't a bathroom in Michigan that was spared his peeping. Like, this guy is like the supervillain of shitters. There was nowhere safe, no porcelain throne left unsullied by his eyes. His near...
Like, legit, like, there's at least, if I remember the number, it's like at least definitely over 300, but I think like 400 different, like, separate bathrooms in Ann Arbor, Michigan alone that he had shit set up. I'm not, like, not even joking. I don't know, I forgot the exact number, but I think it does get brought up here in a second, but it is actually insane how much the number is. and how many videos this guy has, and how many it's like, dude, like, this dude is literally like, he pretty much, like, it's a job for him. You know, like, I mean, how does he have a job on top of doing this? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck?
Omniscient eyes.
Like, a genuine chunk of his life is dedicated to, like, maintaining and gathering all the cams and all the shit. Like, dude, seriously, there's dedication in this shit. And that's what makes my, like, brain, like, what the fuck? I mean, and over this,
dedicated his whole life, put his soul into his craft of spying on every bathroom in Michigan. He was literally like the architect from The Matrix.
This morning, it was my boss who took the phone call. I don't know what time it was this morning from a restricted number. He was like, it's a restricted website. You're not going to find it, but I just wanted to let you know.
The responding officer headed to the bathroom to take a look for herself. Notably, the bathroom was usually reserved for employees.
Like sideways, yeah, on that shelf. But, I mean, I don't know how. I know it can be,
Police would learn soon enough that the employees at Altered State were not the only ones to have their privacy violated.
I mean, honestly, it was kind of shitty, so I could kind of see where this dude could have easily hidden one just on that shelf. I mean, if all the stuff on there, I mean, I hate to go back, but down there, you know what I mean? Especially if this guy being a freak. I mean, how often are they grabbing those specific chemicals to clean their shit? You know what I mean? Like, chances are, even if they did see it, they would probably think someone leave a charger and it just dropped there or something. You know, like out of their pocket, you know, when grabbing their phone. You know, they would think, at least, you know, nonchalantly, they'd probably think that or something. You know, but, like, I mean, especially with the cams that this guy's got, you'll see why I think that.
Would learn soon enough that the employees at Altered State were not the only ones to have their privacy violated. In an unanticipated shocker, the police would find over 200 hidden camera videos from no less than 7 different bathrooms throughout the city over the next month and a half.
And that's just within that month and a half, but like I said, this guy's got a full fucking record of this.
This was the first domino to fall here that led them down this crazy trail. They found so many cameras and videos from this guy. It was like actually hunting Riddler trophies in the Arkham series. It was crazy. He violated so many people's privacy, spied on so many people, and it turns out this is only the tip of the iceberg because he actually has a previous case very similar to this and had in his possession 7,000 videos of unclothed or partially clothed individuals that he filmed without their consent. 7,000! That's more than, like, all of Markiplier's uploads since he started YouTube. That is an unbelievable amount. And that was...
That's over 7,000, bro. Like, bruh. I mean, that's just fucking wild.
In the course of 5 years from 2010 to 2015. We'll get to that here in a little bit, but this guy's entire life has been dedicated to violating people's privacy.
All were filmed without consent between January and July 2022. Horrifically, this included illegal images of children. The depravity...
Of course, I'm not shocked whatsoever because this guy just does not give a fuck. And these are bathrooms in public spaces, of course, depending... I'm assuming a lot of these places are also, like, where all ages are likely to be there, like grocery stores and other shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, this guy ain't gonna give a fuck, dude. Especially with this attitude about, well, just everything about life and himself and shit. I mean, this is what makes me kind of, like, get mind fucked about, like, what happened to you, bro? Like, for this to be your, like your mindset with life. You're like, yeah, I'm just gonna dedicate, like, my entire life on this shit.
He didn't stop there. When searching the offender...
And what... I'm not gonna spoil it. Never mind, hold on.
Laptop, the police found he had engaged with online adult websites where images and personal information of unknown...
And actually, that little thing right there, that's... oh, there it is. That little thing, that's one of the cameras. It's like a little pen spy cam thing. You had a bunch of those.
Distributed. Police suspected the culprit intended to participate in such exchanges after they found additional images of the victims taken from social media downloaded to his laptop.
Just when you thought it couldn't get worse. So, it's pretty clear he was also sharing these with
And the fact that this dude was able to also track some of these random-ass motherfuckers through his own videos to, like, straight up find their Facebooks and shit, like... It makes you wonder about some motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Like, cause that is some, wild shit.
fucking evil creeps out there, and was even distributing
Actually,
personal
like,
information.
this, like, you know, when it comes to, like, straight up being, like, it takes a whole new definition of being a predator, that's for sure. Cause in my mind, I'm like, you know, I kind of want to be like, man, they say these motherfuckers are predators. Nah, this guy is. I'm just like, but the thing is, like, even those other motherfuckers are too. So it's like, this guy is just, well, I guess descended, you know, into a whole nother level of predator that even for me, I didn't even really fucking think would be possible, to be honest. And considering some of the heinous, crazy shit that people have been into and have done and all this other shit, that's kind of saying something. I want to be, like, the top of the list, I would say, but it's definitely, like, it's up there.
Of the people that he would identify through these hidden cameras. So, from the sound of things, he would broadcast this onto restricted websites, and additionally, he also had illegal images of children. This guy is legitimate evil.
Even though the anonymous caller believed the video he saw was a live stream, he could have been mistaken. The working theory was that the culprit could have put the camera up at the start of a shift and then taken...
You know, I also wonder, who was the anonymous caller? Because that anonymous caller was on, like, a restricted website and found, like, the videos and somehow recognized the bathroom and the space and shit, like, just kind of, you know, who's that? You know what I mean? Like, who's the anonymous caller? Could it be, like, a friend of the dude and they just happened to, like, sneak on their laptop at one point or something? Like, or was this somebody from the website just being like, oh, yeah, I just happened to find it and I happen to be in the area and I know this place, oh, shit. Like, what, like, who was it? You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's never going to be able to be answered, I feel like, but I do have some interesting speculations about that because that is very interesting.
Home to upload the footage.
So, back to what started this whole trail of breadcrumbs that they followed was an anonymous caller tipped them off that at this altered state in this restroom, there was a live stream of people...
Oh, Jazzy's just chilling out with her little tongue out, so cute.
Using
just
that bathroom, of course, being non-consensually filmed. And so, officer went to the scene, they searched high and low for a camera, but they couldn't find it, but they did see that a lot had been, like, adjusted and moved around. So it's not that they completely disregarded this as just some kind of, like, phony baloney nonsense. It's one of those things where they started speculating, well, maybe it wasn't a live stream, maybe they had taken the camera home and uploaded the footage to those sites, and the caller was just mistaken, thinking that it was live.
Something else the anonymous caller said prevented the current lack of evidence from stonewalling the investigation. The man fitting the caller's description was 36-year-old Eric Deshawn Morton. This was not his first run-in with police.
Everyone said he was going to the bathroom a lot last night, and they thought that he just, like, was trying to not work.
It seemed likely that Eric was up to something far more nefarious than just slacking.
This dude's a fucking sicko. Well, honestly, I mean, it makes, dude, yeah, like, I wonder if we should, like, do, like, a little tier list, like, make a list of, like, some popular, like, sicko fucks, and then maybe, like, some non-popular ones that we just happen to know about, like this guy, you know, and then do, like, a tier list of who's, like, the most really sicko fuck, you know, because, honestly, this guy is, arguably, for me personally, even knowing some pretty popular, like, fucked up, like, cases that, you know, when it comes to true crime shit, people know of, this is definitely up there. Like, it's top 5 for me, for sure. Maybe not, like, top 3. Maybe, like, it's in the 4 or 5 range. Maybe 3. I don't... But, you know, it's up there, dude.
Jacking. This disgusting asshole has an entire history of doing shit like this. The anonymous caller was telling them about someone that could have been behind it, and the person they described fit this man's description. So they looked into him a bit. They were talking about how the previous night he was going to the bathroom a lot. I guess he drank way too much soda, so he just had the big-time pee-pee, a lot of urine in his bladder. But they speculated, like, this is probably when he was setting up the camera or tending to the camera.
Especially when the manager added that he made a habit of using the ladies' restroom rather than the men's room. When he was previously asked about this, Eric made the excuse that he used the ladies' room because it was stocked with gloves, which he said he liked to wear while he worked.
A bulletproof defense right there.
So he apparently worked here. You know, at least that's, you know, what it says. So if that's the case, then it's like, what? Like, and I would at least explain why he has such easy access to this particular bathroom. But again, he's done this to other places too, and has a history of this shit. I'm doing it like hundreds of different fucking times over and over again throughout his fucking life. So it's like, oh, like, what really, you know, like, how far does this go? And honestly, in a weird way, how do we know he doesn't, like, you know, have shit set up still, and we just don't know about it? You know what I mean? Like, it's just insane. This dude's just, like, they need to study a motherfucker like this, and, you know, he needs to just be permanently, like, locked up in, like, mental ward, you know, for study. Like, straight up, because it's like, bro, like, what compels you? You know, like I said from earlier, what compels you, you fucking weird nut?
It's watertight. Man rolled a 20 on the charisma check. That was impressive. So, he had a habit of using the ladies' room, and his reason for it was, well, they have gloves there. I like gloves. Checkmate. Damn, his story checks out. This guy's good.
After learning that Eric's son was present, the officers decided to uncuff.
This guy had a kid. This dude, at some point, had a girlfriend or a wife or something, and then had a child, and it has custody of the kid. This dude has a fucking kid, bro. That's what I want. I was like, you know, also, and I was like, you know what, no. Because that was it. The dude has a fucking kid. Like, what? How does this guy have a child and is fucking doing all this shit, raising him, and also apparently having a fucking job too on top of this? Like, dude must be on some drugs too.
His son outside to play and brought out some snacks to keep the child occupied while the search progressed. A PIN camera containing a micro SD card was connected via USB. When going through one of the bedrooms, they found a small black bag containing more hidden cameras, some of which were like the PIN camera found in the living room. Computer forensics experts discovered his stash of more than 200 secretly recorded videos.
I love the edit on this where they just have his face like...
of people using the bathroom.
Unsurprisingly, the authorities didn't necessarily buy the excuse he used for the ladies' room being the really nice gloves that they have stocked.
I mean, I literally, it's like, a better excuse to be like, I honestly like the toilet paper in there. I just grab a few rolls, and the men's room doesn't usually have any, and I assumed that they didn't at the time. So, my bad. I mean, a restroom's a restroom. I had to go. I just figured they had, like, you know, that stocked up, and I wanted to grab a couple because I'm low on rent, this and that, or whatever. You know, you can fill in the blank after that. It's like, come on. You know, it's like, seriously? You can't... I mean, even his excuse was shit. Like, this dude's just been having run-ins of cops and doing this shit for so long where it's like, whatever, I'll just be released and do it again. Like, he just has this mentality with it. I mean, even with his sentence that he has after all this shit, I even think after all that, he's just gonna do the shit again. Even Charlie says it, later in the video when it gets brought up.
In there, so they ended up getting a search warrant and then arrived at his abode. He mentioned his son was there, so they brought his son outside to play while they searched the house. While searching, they found tons of hidden cameras. They even found a pin camera that was actively plugged into
a bunch of them too.
Computer. So you had all these like Mission Impossible doodads and gadgets, all of which used for surveillance, hidden surveillance. And they confiscated some packages and a lot of this for evidence, and then eventually the forensics experts found his stash, which was 200 videos of people using the bathroom. Which, maybe there's a perfectly valid explanation. Maybe he was just checking to make sure they weren't doing back-to-front wiping, because...
Oh my god. Yeah, he's just trying to do public services. It's like, hey, doing back-to-front wipes. Are you making sure that you are wiping properly in the first place? Are you making sure there ain't no piddles and spittles on that toilet seat? We can't allow that. Those are crimes against the public people. That's a crime against the people, sir. Ma'am. And everyone else in between. Bitches. See, I'm just trying to do people a public service. Oh my god. And also, like, is it really, like, faux pas for, like, the back to front? Like, does it really ultimately fucking matter? Hey, if it gets clean back there, it gets clean back there. You know what I'm saying? Like, does it really matter? So I say a distraction in Discord. Of course you are. Because this guy is fucking ridiculously insane. Hey, if I suffered for this content, you all have to too now. So... we all get to suffer together. What are we talking about here? Peepin' Tom that literally had, like, cameras set up in, like, various different bathrooms in not just Ann Arbor, Michigan, but just in general, and has been doing it since, like, the mid-2000s. Stream lagging on the chat. It, honestly, just kind of does that in general, but, hey, I can at least see it. I mean, maybe it doesn't pop up immediately, but whatever. Not a big deal. Here. I could just do this here. Probably need to just, like, break away from those Discord here, because, I want to... that's a fucking... God fucking Christ. That was yours. Shit titties. No. Well, I guess I'll have to look at it later. Oh, well. I mean, hey, we're almost there. We're almost there. Hey, there's a happy ending, ultimately, okay? It's not all bad and voodoo.
That in and of itself is a sin. Maybe he was just looking out for people's well-being, ensuring proper wiping technique, Maybe there's a perfectly justifiable excuse that he was secretly recording all of these people. Authorities got an arrest warrant. They went to his other job at a hotel and arrested him there, which, surprisingly, was not his first run-in with the authorities. In fact, in 2015, he was arrested for very similar things.
He'd previously been arrested back in 2015, coincidentally by some of the same officers. In 2015, Eric was...
I love how he was literally, like, arrested by the same cops that fucking caught him back in a decade ago. Titties says spew out shit or shit on titties. Titties says spew out shit because, like, if I'm suckling on a titty and they're spewing out some shit, that's going to be the most disgusting thing, and I would literally probably actually die / murk that, unalive that bitch in a video game. Because of how utterly repulsed I would be. But some shit on some titties, I mean, it's not my thing. You do you, girl. If you like some of that weird scat kink shit, that's you. But that ain't me, so I could just avoid that and not even be near that shit. You know what I'm saying? So... I mean, like, what's worse is obviously the titties spewing out instead of, some... Never mind. Logan, what the fuck? I feel like that's worse than this. Like, oh my god. I don't even... Why are you... What? What the fuck, man? I just saw someone on Threads use the phrase non-practicing white person. What the fuck does that mean? Non-practicing white person? What the fuck does that mean? Seems to be a term for people who think white privilege doesn't exist. I'm actually a little bit more confused now than earlier. Like, wait, what? Okay. What? Non-practicing white. Okay, so people who think white privilege is not a thing because, so, what makes you a practicing white person? That you recognize it? I mean, I don't... Dude, it's gone too far. It's gone too far, bro. We need to stop. It's time to stop. It's time to stop, motherfucker. Get out of my rice field, motherfucker. Oh, I miss Filthy Frank. I miss Hyperion when he asks those kind of questions. I know, right? Shit was to say. Alright. God damn it. Get out of there. Titties that spew shit or a dick that spews out shit. Which one? How about no? How about I just refuse to acknowledge that that was... You know, I'm kind of regret trying to... Never mind.
Arrested after a woman caught him filming her through a peephole while she used a porta potty.
I just saw it, but I think they mean it's because you recognize privilege. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know either, bro.
Further investigation revealed more of Eric's disturbing behavior.
He tried to film a stranger through a porta potty peephole. I didn't even know porta potties had peepholes.
And frankly, and now I'm gonna think for the rest of my life that there's gonna be peepholes in a porta potty because it's like, bro. Like, if I'm in one, I'm literally gonna look around on the walls and be like, is there a fucking peephole around here? Like, because the only way I could think of there being one is like he made one himself so he can put his camera up against the fucking, you know, hole and then record. It's like, bruh.
Assuming he custom built that himself, fucking threw a glory hole in there and used it to film people.
Glory hole, damn.
Or maybe he, like, built his own, like, sound stage that looked like a porta potty so he could film people. I don't know. It's fucking crazy, though. The lunacy knows no bounds. And he would actually proudly post about shit on Twitter, too. So, like, they bring up tweets here. Like, the first one they show about him cleaning out his phone, and then he has the gall to say, in Jesus' name.
In 2022, Eric was confronted by a coworker who found...
This is back in 2012. Shit happens in life. This way you gotta flush the toilet and go about your day. Smiley face. Dude, this guy, like, basically brags about it on Twitter and shit. Or at least he did. Or probably was, you know, he was off and on. Like, dude, this guy bragged about it.
The camera disguised as a phone charger in the women's restroom. It was plugged in and facing the toilet. Eric insisted it was a regular phone charger and fled with the device.
Women, it's hoe season. Please don't dress like one because all the dogs are out. Lol. That is just so fucking disturbing, bro. What the fuck? And not only is it just such a chauvinistic, sexist, bitch-ass comment, but it's also just so fucking inherently like, what, are you some weird horny dog? Like, what is, oh my god. Some motherfuckers, man. Not from a man, but an alien skin suit dude. If this guy turns out to be Roger from American Dad, would you be at all surprised? Not really, but, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was still a human doing this shit. Because he got weird fucking pigs like this that exist.
Unsurprisingly, he was fired from his job.
I'm assuming this
Shocker.
you're showing comes from his Twitter, or maybe like he had a TikTok account where he's doing this loser shit like Naruto running while doing a 360. I have no idea. But it is unbelievable the links he would go to for this depravity. So he had a hidden camera phone charger, like this fucking crazy, like, spy gadget that he plugged into a wall outlet in the bathroom and had faced the toilet. Like, you can't trust any household objects in Michigan while this guy was on the loose. I didn't realize technology reached the point where we could disguise phone
Thank God I haven't been in Michigan while he's out on a prowl. Thank good.
chargers as hidden cameras.
Especially around Ann Arbor. Not that I would have any reason to be there.
Good on
I could say at least seeing myself in Detroit or something, but... Ugh.
the astute observer that happened to pick up on that and then confronted him about it, which of course he denied, and then he snatched it away and Naruto ran off into the distance. But like, it's just crazy. Like, there was nothing sacred in bathrooms across Michigan. You think that that's a skid mark in the toilet from a previous poop? Nope. Actually a hidden camera from Eric. You think your parents are actually your parents? Nope. Actually DARPA drones that Eric designed for the sole purpose of trying to convince you to go to the bathroom so they could spy on you for Eric's hard drive.
Oh my God. I mean, considering how, like, invested he was into this shit, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Dude's fucking insane.
Unbelievable how many cameras he was setting up in bathrooms across the entire area.
The case escalated to a whole new level when the police found an appalling 7,000 videos of unclothed or partially clothed people in Eric's possession. Some had even been recorded in a private residence. They also found images taken up women's skirts, which suggested he had a camera device.
Don't get jealous, lol. And he is, like, showing off the pictures, too. Like...
It's attached to his shoe. This particular...
Yeah, okay, I'll go back for a sec, but he had a camera device attached to his fucking shoe, bro. At least that's the suspected idea of how he got upskirt shots. Like, he literally had, like, one of those, like, spy shoes where you can have, like, you know... the shoe looks a little bigger on you, so it's like an extra inch or something. So you have like a little camera in the sole, like in the very front, the tip of the shoe. He has like one of those fucking things where it's like a little button where your like your toe hits or whatever, or some shit or whatever. Like, he's got one of those damn things. It's like, the fuck? I mean, he's got some like CIA style fucking spy shit to fucking like, you know, do this, you know, kind of shit. Like, I mean, honestly, in a way, like, this guy almost sounds like a South Park, because I just saw that, you know, in your chat. Like, that's what? Because he really just seems like it. He just seems like a South Park parody of, like, some weird predator perv. You remember South Park episode where they put seatbelts in the toilets in there? Oh, yeah, like the TSA, the Toilet Security Agency, or whatever the fuck. Now we just need to check your asshole. Yeah, dude, that was such a great episode. Having another TSA. What a good one. I mean, dude, that would be his dream job. And you know for a fact that the government would go fuck if he did that.
They also found images taken up women's skirts.
I just need, you know, check your asshole right now. And maybe put like a little sneak camera up in there. Okay, now, oh my God, I don't need to get this motherfucker ideas. Even for just the ether of the universe itself.
Suggest
Oops.
that he had a camera device attached to his shoe. This particular unpleasant collection dated all the way back to 2010.
7,000 videos. And also, turns out he was a notorious upskirt pervert creep. He put a camera on his shoes so he could take those pictures. And I'm guessing by that tweet would even post it on Twitter. Like, he would publicly post the upskirts, it seems. Or at least some of them. What? Also, it turns out he was arrested in 2006, but that one had actually been scrubbed from the records. That shit was like the cloning planet from Star Wars.
Now, I wonder what happened with that case, because that's why I say this shit's been going on since the mid-2000s, because maybe it's just because of the technology of the day, where it was just harder, you know, maybe for law enforcement and at least local law enforcement, or for like the victims of shit. Maybe there was like something where he had like enough of an alibi or another fuck or enough of a defense where it just like dropped and got scrubbed. But I have a feeling that, you know, he's been doing this even back then. You know, like it doesn't, you know, go just beyond like 2010 to 12, etc. to now. Like it's been going on since as long as he's at least has been a legal adult.
just been removed from the archives because of a program to try and help young first-time offenders or something like that. Anyway,
I'm assuming he was probably like 17 or 18, and it was like his first time offense. Like, it was, if that's the case, then that's probably why. You know, like, ultimately, you know, like, whether it, you know, they saw that, oh, well, benefit of doubt, or you didn't necessarily mean to, this, that, whatever the fuck, but he obviously was tiptoeing in it, you know, that's for sure. And I guarantee you that, you know, he probably, you know, has been a little bit more advanced. He just fucked up once and got caught. And, you know, they gave him leeway. And then it only took up until about 2012 or 2015-ish, you know, around that time for him, you know, for him to be on the radar again. It's like, fuck. Like, it makes you realize that, like, law enforcement, as much as this, like, they are so, like, cracked down on some wild shit and stuff, like, they're pretty competent about a lot of shit that's actually generally fucking real and serious. Like, honestly. I have bitched about it. Like, you know, with my own police department, or even with the PPB, like, or, you know, any other cops. Like, you know, they could actually be doing some fucking, you know, good shit with their job, but they'd rather overlook that shit and, you know, crack down on shit where everyone just doesn't like them and is annoyed with them and hates them. Or, like, the very few times they do, it's just, like, a hope that, you know, people just get on the good side and then they fuck off again. And just do the bullshit that everyone's annoyed with. It's just ridiculous. Like, they could actually be cracking down on some shit like this, because who knows how many other weird-ass motherfuckers are doing shit like that. Maybe not to this degree, but, you know, people that are, like, maybe tiptoe and be like, oh, man, I could get away with this. You know, like, there are people like this out there. This guy was just a very egregious, extreme case.
Posted his $100,000 bail. He did get picked up again later. Turns out him getting arrested didn't mean shit to him. In fact, through some of what they recovered, they were able to actually figure out the timing of a good chunk of it. And some of it he had recorded after being discharged the same day. So he just kind of viewed getting arrested as like a nuisance. It wasn't actually a deterrent or anything for him. It was just kind of like a bump in the road, like he hit a pothole. So now all of a sudden he would have less videos that day, but he still went right back to it the second he had the ability to. It's fucking nuts. And then, in the back of the police car, this is where that clip in the beginning comes from. He then tries like a bunch of like weird conversational tactics and gotchas to try and, like, I don't know, strengthen his case of innocence while in the back. And that eventually leads him to stating that the officer is not supposed to be judgmental of crime. So,
which I kind of find hilarious because, I mean, I suppose I understand the point, but it's like, if you're obviously the motherfucker that has been caught doing some obviously heinous shit, and even the cop themselves is kind of judging a little bit, literally just shut the fuck up. You got no room to talk. Like, I mean, honestly. I mean, just straight up, you know what I mean? Now, if, you know, you got, like, you know, some shit where, like, oh, yeah, it's like literally any other, like, you know, circumstance, right? Like, I can understand, but when it's, like, this type of shit, or, like, any other, like, you're obviously the one committing a crime and also the bullshit, we literally caught you, like, you were, like, red-handed, like, you were literally caught red-handed, come on, give us a break, yeah, it's like, what the fuck? Like, at that point, just shut the fuck up. Like, you can't, like, you know, do this, like, Karen bullshit of, like, don't be judgmental at me. It's like, fuck you. How about that? Weird Al fucking pervy bitch. I mean, what the fuck do you expect, you weird dumb fuck?
Now he starts to try and lecture the officer on morality.
You're not supposed to be...
What? Did I miss that part? I didn't hear that. Wait, what?
Judgmental to anybody's crimes, by the way. I need your badge number, by the way. I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, because, yeah, the cop is honestly a little confused. And I guess... Vito. Beat her.
Hello.
Oh, wow, okay. Y'all chilled out really quick.
Hello.
Bow, bow, bow. Good doggos. That was actually not bad. I only to freak the fuck out. doggos. Hey, Soundcast, but the only way they could ever judge you, Eric, or whatever your fucking name is, it would be for them not to be. Yeah, no shit. I mean, because especially with this dude, it's just like, yeah, you have every right to be judgmental. And honestly, like, I mean, he can request, their badge number for the cop, if he wants to, but what good is that going to do for him? You know what I mean? Like, you have a record of this shit. You've been caught doing this multiple times. Everything else in between. It's like, dog. Like, you got no fucking standing to try to fucking do this shit.
No, when I say I do worse, when you say I do worse stuff when I was getting in the car.
Because you do perverse stuff, you fucking freak.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. Yeah, but you're not supposed to do that. Why am I not? Because you're not supposed to judge crime. You're supposed to do. Alright, bro.
You're not supposed to be judging crimes, man. It's like, come on, bro. It's like, he's trying to, like, lecture him about more. Dude. I mean, yeah, like you said, Rose, I don't like the side of cops. That's, like, the one time where they're actually, like, yeah, they can judge you all they want. I mean, especially if you being a weird pervy fuck. Now, if they were judging you on you being black or anything else in between, despite that, that'd be one thing, but that wouldn't because I'm trying to side off your ass. That's just because they're being stupid and making it weird with racial bigotry bullshit, but they weren't. They just said he does some weird perverse stuff, which isn't even really big of an insult. Yeah, because frankly, like, there are definitely people out there that do some, quote, weird perverse stuff, but it's not even really that bad, like some hardcore BDSM shit, right? Like, to a lot of people, that's weird, perverse shit, but that ain't harming no one. That's who gives a fuck, right? It's like, but this is like such an extreme where the fact that the cop was calling it out like that is him actually just being nice. Honestly, he could have called him anything else in the book, when it comes to him being a weird, pervy fuck, and he still would have been justified. Like, he was actually, in a weird way, being nice for a cop, when it comes to him making a comment about it. Let's just be honest with that.
Exactly, Phoenix right, but a very interesting tactic to try nonetheless. You judged my crime, I'm going to need your badge number, you're not allowed to do that. And the officer's like,
how dare you, bitch?
Talking about. Didn't even do that.
In 2024, Eric was convicted of 13 felonies. Eric was sentenced to 8 to 20 years and will not be eligible for parole until 2030.
Which, good, but frankly, I mean, I guarantee you that he's going to get the maximum sentencing, and also, like, even if he got let out, he's going to do the same shit again. And I guarantee you they're probably going to put him on house arrest and hence the parole shit until 2030. Like, I guarantee you they got this extra baggage of shit, but he's still going to try to find a way, bro. He's going to. That's why I think he just needs to be permanently locked in like a mental psych ward just to study his ass and just like counsel his brain and figure out like why is he such a fucking freak. You know what I mean? I feel like honestly, realistically, that's just the best case for him. Just like keep him locked there and just study his brain or something. And once it gets to an old enough age to where he needs to be in like a home or something, then you can just let it be there. Like, because I think at that point he might be too crippled enough to be, a threat. You know what I'm saying? But beyond that, it's like, I think that's just the best course of action. Because this guy ain't gonna learn just being in a fucking prison cell. And this guy definitely ain't gonna, learn anything necessarily from a psych ward, but at least he can keep him there. And we could, at least as the broader public and society and, itself and mental health, professionals can at least learn something. At least then we can do something from it. But, because this guy is just such an extreme. It's not just like, oh, you're a peepee-top weird perv. It's like, you're such an extreme case. It's like, what the fuck happened to you for this to be the case? Like, obviously something hit. And, you need to be in this area and environment where we can just permanently study you to figure out what the fuck. What compelled you? You know what I mean? Just to bring it back to that. What compelled you, you freak? It's like, Jesus.
The The true number of Eric Morton's victims, along with the identity of the anonymous caller who started the investigation, will likely never be known.
They successfully identified 15 victims, and Eric was convicted on these 13 felonies, so he's facing 8 to 20 years. Ideally, he'll get the full 20 behind bars, but the thing is, even 2 decades in the slammer, I feel like the day he gets released, he's going right back to it. He's hopping right back
he will.
in the saddle. He has been doing this for over a decade, and no matter how many times he's been taken into custody...
It's going to be Herbert from Family Guy. Dude, he would be Herbert. And I hate to say it, but he would be a black Herbert. I mean, he literally would. Like, I mean, he kind of he would be, bro. Oh, I just need to just get me a little nice camera inside our bathroom. Oh. Like he would, bro. Like you're just the same exact voice as Herbert. Who just happens to be a weird, disturbingly perverted, freaky, dude that just is black. That's it. But that's literally the only difference. And not, just exceptionally just gay for kids. Like, he's just, seems like he's an equal opportunity offender for literally anyone that goes to the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, God.
Arrested or even been in jail for these crimes, he then gets right back to it. Like, this is, to him, his life's mission. This is why he was put on this earth. To compromise bathrooms. It's fucking sickening. Anyway, though, I wanted to just...
And what's kind of sad, a lot of Christian pastors, especially in the far right, are probably like, we can learn thing too from this son of a bitch. How do you think we're going to figure out who's trans or not in these bathrooms, huh?
Talk about this a little bit. This story just had me stunned. So yeah, that's really about it. So, yeah.
He's just like, you can just tell he's just seen some shit after this story. He's like, damn, bruh. If I had to see it, you did too. And if I did, y'all had to. I actually, I know I need to eventually, deal with the, whatchamacallit, settings for the fucking, permissions or whatever. So I have an idea. I'm thinking we could probably not like end it, but a quick little pause, just so I can maybe come back, because I've noticed that when I at least come back, it resets the permissions or whatever. So I'm thinking maybe that'll at least for now maybe help a little bit. So I'm thinking that'll probably be literally less than a minute kind of thing. So. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to at least overall, keep reacts without that keep popping up over and over again every time I try. Because after a certain point, that is honestly, even for me, kind of driving me the fuck nuts. But, little beans. Ugh. Time for more stuff. Well, that's what I'm thinking. So I feel like that would at least help with that a little bit. And just go from there. Because we do have, at least another thing. And, I know you want to show me a little something too on the roster. So I feel like that would at least be good all in all. So at least let's try to do that and get through some of that shit. And then... maybe if we still want to go, we can just at least do the short version of it and not have Streamlabs chew up my fucking battery life. Because even charging it for some reason is like, no, you drain. I'm just like, oh my god. What is with Streamlabs? Why does it do that? First Discord. Well, okay. I will at least, be able to look at it once I come back. But, like I said, just give me 1 sec. Won't be long. And the reacts will happen. It's not like the stream's going to end. It's just going to